Hey guys, today I want to show you a little bit day in life of my trading. So basically you're gonna see a little bit, let's say trading process, what I do, how I trading, my trading journey and how I'm collecting data and using those data efficiently in order to improve my personal edge, making more money, stuff like that. Also, this video will be likely a little bit tutorial or maybe, like a show off to my Discord members in case you want to use this template. But also, speaking about the Discord, is free to join, links in the description. So now without further ado, let's jump into my trading process. So basically, I do not use the Notion that much. I'm mostly using it in the over the weekend because I have a little bit more time to focus on. What I use on the work days is basically the Discord, and I am having my own private Discord. This is basically for me only. I am having the access. And what I do is I'm putting a lot of notes when I'm trading. Basically, if I miss some trades, I'm also having some specific rooms. So I'm having individual room for, the euro trades, for the Bitcoin trades, for the missing trades, losing trades, and so on, so on. So basically, once I'm collecting the data, then when is a weekend, I having a little bit more time. So I'm taking all these data and move it to my Notion. Also, I do a little bit like paper journaling. So I having some notes, some books where I can put also my notions, my notes, stuff like that. So over the course of the weekend, I move it to my Notion as well and basically summarize all things together, because over the weekend I have a little bit more time to collect the data properly. And also I can basically backtest what I did and analyze my trades if I was fully cautious and stuff like that. In here, trading hub or the hub, I'm having pretty much four major let's say rooms. The first one is obviously the journal. So basically as the year goes on, there's gonna be much more, 11 more pages of the pure data. Once the whole year is over and I fully do the assessment and I figure out what was the best day, worst month, stuff like that, I move it to the trading archive. Then I pretty much review my trading plan. If something improve based on my journal, stuff like that, and I create the new trading plan. Once the trading plan is done, I actually move it right here a little bit, this nice timeline feature. So basically what this allows you is to set some specific goal and you can put some deadlines to it, and this is just some example. So let's say you want to make $1,000 within this time period. Maybe you put some rules. You can use, wherever you want to use it here, you can use some journal, database, whatever. But basically I found this feature quite a bit useful when it comes to tracking my progress as the times goes on. So basically, as you see, we are now in the 5th, and maybe I have till the 11 or the 19, or maybe if I can move it right here, so maybe I have a 4 couple or 3 more days to reach the $1,000 account. So basically, or the profit. So basically, if I'm seeing that I'm on the middle of this challenge and maybe I see that based on my data I am not performing well, maybe I can do something a little bit about it. So this is something pretty handy, but also I feel like for many people it might be a little bit stressful to actually watching the timeline of your goals. So make sure to figure out if this is something for you or not. I don't need to see it every day. Maybe once in a week or the month, just check out my timeline. So that's what I find quite a bit helpful. Another thing is the monthly stats. So basically once the whole month is over, I can journal right here how many trades I took, because for me it's really important to know what was my most, trading month in the whole year period. Also, risk reward ratio and the profit. So basically, in this kind of correlation, I am looking for the strongest month and the weakest month, and then I focusing, basically what was the wrong, if the market was maybe a little bit strong or the weak, or maybe a little bit more consolidating, stuff like that. Also, what I found maybe just a little bit interesting is how my win rate is performing over the course of the whole year. But pretty much, I just tracking on the monthly basis, the profit and how many opportunities I got. Also, what is the good thing is once I open here, I can click into the January, which we will go actually right now. And it will get me basically to my monthly journal. So this is how my monthly journal looks like. So what I do is I am obviously journaling my trades. In here, this is the same thing, but I just journaling the missing trades because I like to know how many opportunities I missed, or either if I wasn't at the chart, maybe I need to go to the hospital, or maybe I felt sick, stuff like that. So I just want to know how many opportunities I missed, or maybe also if I don't trade a little bit later on the New York session, which this is something what I don't do typically. Maybe I can, based on the missing trades, figure out there was maybe 10 more trades that could give me maybe $5,000 extra for the month. So maybe I need to consider this one if it's something to focus on. And obviously in here, what you could see is in here, obviously I'm tracking my trades, how it's look like, some data where the trade was taken. Then what I found really helpful is I like to compare one specific week to another. So basically, as you see here, I'm having the week 1 to week 5. So because of it, every single trade that I take, I have to figure out, it's not a rocket science, basically which week we are in that particular month. Also the day, session, mostly I'm trading the London, sometimes as you can see here, the New York session. And if it was a win, how much risk reward ratio I got, if it's some break even, how much risk reward ratio I secured, what was my entry time, stop loss, direction, and sorry, this was actually average time. So basically how long I'm holding that particular position and when I'm reaching the profit or the stop loss or the break even. So I found this a little bit helpful because most of my trades barely surpass 60 minutes. It's typically under the half hour, sometimes even between 5 to 10 minutes, as you can see here. So basically this kind of nice visualization. Stop loss, I barely reach more than, as you can see here, 9 pip stop loss. That was probably the really biggest one that I've ever had in few months. So basically something like here. Then I collecting these these weeks. So what I do is I update this particular dashboard throughout, or basically with these data. So I analyze every single week how many trades I took, and the same like I was showing you with the month, basically what was my strongest month. I also compare which was my strongest and the weakest week, and the days also here as well. So basically I'm tracking all the things that you're seeing here, but also because you can add to the Notion a little bit different point of view, you can actually create a lot of these things. So I figure out this one, it's really easy for me, it's really simple, and once I pretty much settled all these things down, then I can just, all I could do eventually over the weekend is just click on that and I instantly seeing, okay, so in the Monday overall I took 3 trades and 2 was a winner. So yeah, maybe I just need to stick to the month trading the Mondays. And In here, basically the self reflection, I am writing down what was I doing over the whole month. If I feel if I did some major significant mistake, like exit too early or entering a little bit too late, stuff like that. Basically what I want to improve, and what I did right and what I did wrong. In here, economic calendar, what I found quite a bit helpful, let's say, is when I go through some data a little bit later on, I'm actually curious if that specific time there was some, let's say, news that might gonna have a little bit impact on the price action. So what I started doing also is basically in the week one, I am screenshotting the forexfactory.com, where I basically seeing all these news when it comes to some specific related pairs. So this is mostly just for, like an archive, because I don't go through the checklist that much. But if I see, some specific price action, I would have to visit the website and maybe scroll down or scroll back 1 year ago, what was on the Monday, 13 and stuff like that. So I figure out it might be easier to have everything under one. In here, I also, what I typically do is I do link to page, and I journal or the backtest pretty much whole month, and I am comparing if I took basically trades based on my plan, and if there was something that maybe I missed, because in the backtesting you don't have that much pressure, right? So you might gonna think a little bit differently, and also because maybe over the course of the whole month you will learn something new, and you want to figure out if your current, let's say, narrative or the insight would be equally matched if you're gonna backtest. So what I do is basically once I am finishing every single week, I also doing the backtesting week to figure out if I took all the trades similar way, or if there was a little bit better entry, or maybe if I could avoid some specific mistakes. And in here, day and the bias data is by the end of the month. I like to know basically overall, as you see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, stuff like that. I want to see how many trades I took, how many win rate losses, and how many trades I missed. This is mostly when it comes to the missing trades, or the backtesting, basically where was some missed opportunities. So I want to see also, when it comes to the days, which was my strongest one. And yeah, and lastly, we having this these data. Just don't mind these numbers, because I just created today to figure out if it's everything working properly. But basically in the week one, actually this is also maybe a little bit handy. If I open this on the weekly performance review, it will directly send me to this page, and I doing some sort of, let's say, self-reflection. So as you can see here, if I take profit too soon, if yes, then maybe right here something, stuff like that. And if I'm having some recurring problem, meaning maybe I'm risking too much, let's say. So if I'm risking too much over and over again, then I am writing down like what's basically behind my behind my mind, and what I need to do, what steps I need to do in order to remove the kind of flaw in trading. So if we go back here, so on the weekly basis, obviously I'm tracking the trades, risk-reward ratio, and what is quite a bit important for me also is how many longs I take, how many winning streak and the losing streak I pretty much got, especially because if I want to, which obviously I do want to get funded this year, because I feel like I could, increase my capital a little bit. So if I knowing, my win streak, I can also tweak my risk appetite for the challenges and so on, so on. So a lot of things about the data. Also, what was my best trading day when it comes to my P&L profit and stuff like that. In here, basically bulls and bears, I'm mostly focusing on the longs and the shorts. So I want to also know how many longs I got comparing to the shorts, and basically what was my win rate between longs and the shorts, and what actually gave me more money. So as the time goes by and you're collecting these data, you might gonna figure out that you are a trader who are maybe short bias or maybe long bias. So you're gonna, preferably seeing much more opportunities on some specific, direction than the other. So this is also really important for me to kind of track. And for instance, if I feel like I'm mostly short bias person, but if I am seeing, if I'm seeing some long opportunities, what I could do on the trading view is I could reverse, inverse my charts to seeing if that specific price action, if I would take it as a short trader. So this is something what I figure out that is really helpful for me. Also in here, what I like to do is basically how many trades during the London session and the New York session I took, how many risk-reward ratio eventually I got, and how many losses I took in the London and the New York. So typically I'm mostly trading the London, so the London will be my most dominant. And if I'm seeing that maybe the January giving me a lot of bad, New York trades, maybe I'm just not gonna trading January, New York sessions, stuff like that. And lastly, what I do is I also comparing my weekly performance and the missed trade. So if I could, increase my, my PNL a little bit, I want to know how much I'm basically missing and, why I am missing that. So that's pretty much it. I really hope you can find this insightful. What I'm basically trying to show you here is you don't need to have so much data like I do, but the more data you have, more you're gonna likely to see your mistakes, and you're gonna see some specific recurring behavior when it comes to your data, or when it comes to your psychological pattern, and you maybe much faster you're gonna react to that. So I really hope this was inspiring, and yeah, see you next time. Happy trading.